Hey everyone, welcome. My name is Brittany Hayes. I'm Ambassador Diamond, and here we have Jordan Splinter, Presidential Diamond, and Amanda Steyn, Triple Diamond. And we are so excited just to teach you guys in this, quick concentrated training how to launch your new distributors off successfully. All of us want to be a good leader, but sometimes when we sign that first team member, we can feel a little overwhelmed. Like, am I doing a good job? Am I teaching them everything I need to be teaching them? And so the three of us are going to walk you through how we successfully launch our new distributors and how you can easily take these tips and do the exact same thing. So the first thing we want to go over is just, when you first sign a distributor, getting them started off strong, but not overwhelming them. We know less is more. We've all heard that, our whole life, I'm sure. But it can be so tempting when you're so excited to go into the team page and, get tag happy and to tag them in everything. And so what we want to, go over with you guys is like what is actually essential when they first get started. So all of us are really big proponents of running with the runners and walking with the walkers. And so what that means is when someone gets started, we want to make sure we're going at their own pace. Because if we throw too much on a new distributor, they're going to get overwhelmed, they're going to retract, and they're not going to feel like they can do it. But if we can give them, little by little by little, they will be able to learn those things and start putting them into practice, and then they will feel like they're ready for more. So the first thing we recommend doing when you first sign a distributor, you just sign them, they're so excited, you're going to add them to the team page, you're going to introduce them, you're going to welcome them on the welcome thread. And then after that, you're going to send them the new distributor training video that the three of us did. So if you have not found that video or haven't seen it, it is on my YouTube channel. You can grab that link and you're going to send them the new distributor training video. You're going to have them watch it and you're going to say, hey, watch this new distributor training video and write down any questions you have and then bring your questions back to me. And then the second thing you're going to do, and I like to do this all in one setting, is you're going to give them the first post. So we have a first post example in the team page. You're going to just go ahead and copy that and send that to them. So you're going to send them the link to the new distributor training video and send them the first post. And you're going to say, hey, this is your first post. Go ahead and get this posted. Post it with either a selfie, a family picture of you, something personal, and get that. You can make any tweaks to the post if you want. And then once you get that posted, let me know so I can show you some love on that post. And then from there, you're not going to do anything until they do those two things. They need to watch the training, they need to come back to you with their questions, and then they need to make the first post before you proceed from there. And if for some reason you haven't heard from them in about, let's just say 24 to 48 hours, you can check back in and just say, hey girl, did you get a chance to watch that training? I'd love to answer any questions that you have. Sometimes they maybe got busy and hadn't had a chance to watch it, but that's going to be that nice, gentle, nudge and a reminder to go ahead and watch that. And then you can go from there. So now I'm going to pass it over to Jordan and kind of just let Jordan talk you guys through like what to do once they've made their first post and they start getting comments. The three of us are big proponents, you guys, of getting people started off strong and holding their hand those early days when they're scared, they're nervous, they're excited, all the things, and making sure they feel equipped and we help them have those first wins. So I'm going to let Jordan take it over and talk about that for a little bit.
So once they get their first post up and going, and you guys have already gone and commented, the first person to comment on there, getting so excited with them, now you're going to be getting notifications that other people are commenting as well. So you want to be on top of that, watching so that you can go ahead and message your distributor and be on top of it, be on the ball and helping them with what to say. So you can find in the files of Fire Tribe, we have a list of goals. You can send those goals to your new distributor and have them send it to who is commenting on their post. We also have a list in relation with that, that is the responses to those goals that you can send them as well, so they already know what to say. And one thing that I like to do with my new distributors, I tell them from the get-go, go ahead and send me screenshots of these conversations. This just helps make it so much more simple. I can go ahead and be reading the conversation with them and help them know what to say. They're brand new, and it's up to us to be able to help walk them through those new conversations.
I love that so much. And just a little tip kind of tacking onto what Jordan said is saving the goals, if you don't already have them saved, in the notes on your iPhone or Android, and then the goal responses also in the notes. That way, every time you sign a new distributor, you've got everything you need. You could send them the link to the new distributor training, send them the first post example, keep that saved in your notes, by the way, too. And then, once they start their, getting in those conversations, like Jordan said, you've got the goals, you can copy it, send it, copy the goal responses, send it, and then you're equipped as a leader when you start signing a lot of people at one time to, you know, be able to successfully get them all launched. Okay, so on that note, I want to pass it over to Amanda, and just Amanda's really good about working really, really closely with people and really recognizing what their needs are. And so she's going to talk about really meeting the needs of each distributor uniquely, and kind of what to do. You know, they've made that first post, now what?
Okay, so like Jordan said, I love the screenshots to help people walk through the very first steps, and just give them a sense of empowerment that they, you know, understand how to walk people through these conversations. And one thing that's really important for me in the very first days of a new distributor is to actually save their phone number in my phone. So I like to communicate with them through text. I think that's really personal. And I think that that makes the person feel connected and comfortable asking any questions that they have. And I also like to write my new distributors on a piece of paper that I have on my fridge. And I keep all my newbies I see them every day when I'm making my morning coffee, so I can see and remember what steps are they at, and their name automatically comes to mind, because all of us are busy, and the larger that your organization gets, the harder that it'll be to remember them. But we always want to make sure that we're being really intentional about staying close to these newbies in the very beginning. That way we can get them started off strong and started off in the correct way, because ultimately how we help them begin is going to shape the course of their entire time in the company. And I think that once we get them with their first post, then we obviously tag them in their second post and help them through those conversations as well. And as soon as we get done with that, honestly, they're probably going to be signing customers. So you're going to be walking them through the process of getting that, you know, how to do that. And they'll start exploring eSuite a little bit more. And that's the point that I start to explain the 6 list, the daily 6 list, and just exactly what each one of those are. And as you explore each one of those, for example, if you're explaining host to post, you'd obviously provide them with the host to post training link, which can be accessed on Brittany's website, on Brittany's YouTube, or on Fire Tribe. And I'm going to pass it back to Brittany.
So like Amanda said, you know, really just celebrating every single win with them as they start signing customers, you know, being so excited for them every step of the way. But like, you know, you've heard all of us say, really noting where they're at and just giving them enough, you know, for each step, not throwing too much at them where they're going to be overwhelmed, but really going at their pace. Another thing that I wanted to talk about is once you know, you've gotten them you've gotten them making their first post and they're in those first conversations. So their very first goal is to sign their first 6 customers. So that is their first goal. They're going to be officially Fast Start qualified and earn a $150 shopping spree when they get their first 6 customers. So your immediate goal as their leader is to help them get their first 6 customers. The first 2 customers they get is going to be a $50 Fast Start bonus for you. The second 2 they get, so that's customer number 3 and 4, is going to be another $50 Fast Start bonus for you. You've now earned 100. And then the 5th and 6th customer they get is going to be the full $150 Fast Start bonus for you and the full $150 shopping spree for them. And so your goal should be, first things first, helping them get those first 6 customers. So, you know, some people will get that from their first post. They maybe got, you know, had a huge warm market, a big response on their first post, and now they've signed those 6 LCs. Some people maybe didn't get a big response. And so in those cases, you're going to do like Amanda said, and you're really going to go into host to post with them, learning their daily task list. You guys, we have the colorful little graphic that has their 6 lists on it in Fire Tribe. And so sending that to them is, you know, crucial and really helping them get in those good habits. You know, people, you know, think about it when someone starts a new job. The first 2 weeks is training. They're learning how to, you know, perform that new job well. That is our job as their leader, is helping them those first couple weeks make these things habits and really get in a good groove where these things become second nature. Once they sign their first 6 LCs though, the very next thing that you're going to want to walk them through doing is signing their spouse. And I'm going to let Jordan, and pass it over to Jordan, and let her talk about why that's so important, what the benefits are for your new distributor, so you know how to, you know, clearly communicate that to them, and then kind of just what that looks like as far as helping them, you know, get closer to their first promotion.
Yes, so like Brittany said, once you get your first 6 customers, you want to go ahead and get your spouse signed. All of us on here did this as well when we first got started. And what this is going to allow you to do is be able to make more bang for your buck. So the work that you're already doing, we want you guys to get the absolute most out of that and be able to get paid twice for the work of one time that you're doing. So want those first 6 customers, and from that point forward, you're going to be able to move those customers under your spouse account. So not only is your spouse going to get paid for that customer, you're also going to get paid for them as well. And we all know that we join this business to be able to make extra income. So why not do it in a smarter way and be able to make more for the work that we're doing?
Yeah, absolutely. And so once your new distributor has their first 6 customers, you're going to have them sign their spouse, like Jordan said. You're going to explain it to them the way that Jordan explained it. It's literally getting paid twice for the work of one. And then you're also going to want to let them know that once their spouse gets their first 6 customers, once they move those first 6 under their spouse, they're going to get a $150 fast start bonus. So they just sign their spouse for $99, but got a $150 bonus, and then their spouse gets a $150 shopping spree. So that is just super exciting for them. They literally profited from signing their spouse. But not only that, all those customers under their spouse, they're going to get paid twice on, and that's going to set them up for their first promotion of executive and on to Ruby from there. The next thing that we like to do after we have them sign their spouse and they've worked on getting those first LCs for their spouse is then we're going to really have them start focusing on signing distributors. And so I'm going to pass it over to Amanda and let Amanda just briefly talk about how you as a leader can set your new distributor up for success, on a couple things: believing they can sign distributors, just kind of how they can go about those steps, through posting, maybe talking to people they know need this opportunity, but just really what it comes down to is you as a leader making them feel equipped to go ahead and do that.
So one of the things that I like to do whenever we start training how to sign distributors is I like to make sure everybody has their Ruby chart printed out so that they can kind of get an idea of why we sign distributors, why it's important, and what we do with these distributors. And just explain to them like how the Ruby chart works and how we progress through the ranks. Obviously, executive is the first step, but we want everybody to hit Ruby as soon as possible. So that means you need to have 3 distributors. And one thing that people usually say whenever they get started is, I don't have a story like yours. I haven't, replaced my full-time income. I haven't gotten these crazy bonuses. But you know what? I think everybody has a story, because if you didn't, then you wouldn't have signed up. The fact that you've already signed up means that you have goals out of the company. Whoever your new distributor has goals that they're trying to reach. So they have things that they can talk about, and they can just talk about the future and what they're looking for and what they're excited about in the company, because excitement is contagious. So every single person has a story. And I think that sharing that story daily, in the evening preferably, is probably the #1 tip on how to sign new distributors. And I think that another good tip, honestly, like what Brittany said, is believing in yourself, and believing that you can help your new distributors in a way to help them be successful. And one thing that I just want to say is, even if you're new yourself and you've just signed a distributor and maybe you don't feel equipped, or maybe you don't feel, like you can do this, you have the support of the entire Fire Tribe leadership behind you, and you have all of these tools. We have you set up for success, so you can absolutely handle it. And we are all here with you to support you in any way that we can. And the next thing that I love to do for signing distributors is host a post. I think that that's a really great opportunity to share our business opportunity with people that maybe we wouldn't have been in contact with otherwise. So I think that explaining what that is and getting your new teammates plugged into that ASAP is absolutely vital to growing their team and growing their organization as quickly as possible and helping them meet those goals. And it's really exciting for them too, because as you sign a new distributor and as you get them fast start qualified, your new team members are going to get fast start bonuses with each one of those. And that's money in your pocket right away before they even have to wait for their next paycheck, which comes obviously the next month. And every single person joined this company not because they had money, but because they want more money. And I absolutely love to help them get that win as quickly as possible, because it helps them understand, how awesome this business is and what the opportunity is. And that we are ultimately in control of what our finances are, and we're ultimately in control of what our income is, and just how simple that is for us.
I love that so much. It really is so true, you guys. Like, it's so simple for us to do this business. And the best gift we can give someone as their leader is helping them see how simple it is, helping them see that they can do this too. So one thing I wanted to talk about is, when you sign a new distributor, a couple things. Number one, how to, if this is not your first distributor you've signed, and so maybe you already have a small team built and you signed a distributor and you're placing them in your organization, how to connect them with who you signed them, or who you place them under, and then also what to tag them in Fire Tribe, what to make sure they stay in the loop about. So number one, you want to make sure they know that our team huddles are Monday nights at 9:30. That every Monday night, no matter what, there's going to be a team huddle. There'll be, someone different leading it each week. There might be someone being interviewed. It'll be on different topics. But the, main thing is it's going to be beneficial to them to get on. You guys, when people stay plugged in, they thrive. And so you want to make sure your new distributor knows about anything like that happening. Maybe it's a month where we're hosting, the Diamonds and Above leadership team is hosting some power hours that are for the entire team. Things like that, you want to tag them in. Anything that is a crucial reminder that you see one of us leaders, post about, you want to tag them in. So just make sure you keep them in the know by tagging them appropriately. And then if you are building a team and this is not your first distributor you've signed, second to your spouse, when you place them under one of your distributors, you want to immediately introduce them, connect them, and you want to make sure that you're teaching that distributor on top that you placed your new distributor under, that you're teaching them to take ownership and to tag that person in things. That way we can really, really build, that strong layered leadership, but really connecting your leaders. Amanda's going to talk about that in a little bit, connecting them and what that looks like, kind of building that layered leadership. But that is so, so huge. But before we go on to that, and I pass it over to Amanda, I wanted real quick, Jordan, to touch on just kind of recognizing your new distributor's personality. We have something, I'm sure you guys, if you're watching this and you've signed your first distributor, you have heard by now about the color personalities. That's something we have detailed in the files of Fire Tribe. There's also a color personality test you can take. All of us are very big proponents of understanding what color our new distributor is so we can help them the best way for them, so we know how to talk to them. And so I just want to let Jordan hit on this really briefly on just kind of, this isn't something you necessarily want to throw on your new team member right away, making them take the test, but in the, first, week or so, finding this out and then just really paying attention to how you can best meet their needs accordingly is so crucial.
Go ahead and get your new distributor to see what their color personality is so that they know where the areas that they're strong, the areas that maybe they need some extra work on. And then you as their enroller also know how to connect with them. You're going to know right off the bat if they're going to be somebody who is a go-getter that maybe you can be a little bit more hands-off with, or maybe there's somebody who, like me, I'm a yellow, I needed a little more hands-on experience when I first got started. So that's just going to give you a deeper look into how you can best train them, how you can best teach them, what's going to be the way that they learn best. And, maybe you learn a completely different way than they do. And the way that you would teach somebody just like yourself is going to be so different. So I think it's really important to know that, and then to teach them from that point forward as they are enrolling their team as well, to get them to do that so that they can learn how to best train their new distributors and really just how to connect with not only their team, but their customers as well as they start bringing in those customers and really get going in their business.
Yeah, absolutely, you guys. I love what Jordan said. She hit the nail on the head when she said the way you learn maybe isn't the way they learn. And so, maybe you're watching this and you're a total green. You care about all the information. You ask all the questions. If you're talking to a new blue distributor, they do not care about any of the things you care about. And so that's one way we could really, kind of overwhelm them right off the gates, is if we're throwing our green at them and we think they care about the things that we care about, but really they're like, whoa, I don't need to know all that. You just lost me. And so knowing what they are and how that differs to you is going to be so, so huge. So you can meet their needs in the way they need, they need those needs to be met. But I'm going to pass it over to Amanda now. Amanda is really, really good about when she signs a new distributor and she's building a new team and she places that distributor under one of her distributors, connecting them and really establishing some leadership expectations from that person she placed under, and really helping them grow into a leader. And so we want to briefly hit on this. I know some of you watching this video, you just signed your first distributor. So this doesn't apply to you yet, but it will apply to you in the very near future when you are, already charted Ruby and now you're building out for Emerald and you're working with 2 Rubies. This is when this is going to really apply to you. And some of you, I'm sure, are watching and you're already there. And so we want to make sure that as you build your team, it's not all just falling on you, but but you are really able to, count on a couple of, your main front runners, and you're able to run with them, and you're able to teach them to grow into a leadership position as well.
So depending on what your organization looks like and depending on what level you are at in the company, this is going to look different for you. But for most of you, when you sign a new distributor, you are going to have to put that distributor somewhere on your team. If you've already got your Ruby boxes full, then you're going to start building below and you're going to start fortifying for your Emerald chart. So when I do that, let's say I sign Sally. I'm going to put Sally in contact with whoever her new Ruby leader is going to be. And what I do is I like to put both of them in a chat together in Facebook, and I just like to introduce them and say, hey, Sally, this is Kimberly. Kimberly is going to be your diamond upline. And I like to make it super clear that I'm not passing the buck on to Kimberly. I'm still your enroller. I'm still going to personally mentor you, and I'm still going to walk you through, you know, these very first vital steps. And you've got me unconditionally, you know, to be your mentor. But Kimberly's also, you know, a second line of defense for you. And she's amazing. And you can highlight some of the things that they're strong at. And then just say, like, it's more support, and more support is always better. So basically they connect. And now Kimberly understands, sorry, Kimberly. Kimberly understands that she's responsible to personally connect with this person outside of that chat. So that chat doesn't really, nothing happens honestly past the first couple texts, because then Kimberly's going to go ahead and get Sally's phone number and connect with her personally, and just let her know that she's available. And we never want Sally to feel like she's being passed on. We want her to feel like she has all the help in the world. So it's not that I'm not helping her anymore. It's just that now she has a second person that she knows is here for her and here to help her be successful. So like I said, we're still going to walk through all of those first things. I'm still going to help personally mentor her through the first and second post, through getting those first 6 customers. But I also know that in the meantime, Kimberly's going to be offering support. She's going to be tagging her in all the things. She's going to be making sure that she understands all these. They'll probably have some conversations, connect, and become friends as well. And I think that that's really vital, because when we have layered leadership, we operate better and our organizations thrive more, because then it's just so much simpler for all of us. It makes it simpler for all of us. And of course, she's welcome to text me. She's welcome to text, you know, whoever you placed her under, but then she just has more people to connect with. And I think that that's really, really helpful. So another thing, and I mean, it can apply to so many different things, but maybe what that looks like for your organization is that in the beginning of the month, they have a check-in. Maybe what that looks like is help with charting, because obviously somebody who's, you know, triple presidential or ambassador can't do charts for every single person on their team, but that's something that's confusing for a lot of people. So if you put them under a diamond upline, you can have that conversation that, hey, I expect you to be able to help them, you know, help them with charting and help walk them through that if that's something that is applicable to your organization.
Yes, so good, you guys. Really empowering our rising leaders to do the same things we do is going to be what really makes our organization be able to operate into like a well-oiled machine, like Amanda explained. One thing I like to do too, just a quick little tip kind of tacking on to what Amanda shared, is when I put those people in the chat, if the person that I place them under, if that is the first distributor I'm placing under them, so maybe they have their husband sign and that's it, and I'm placing this distributor, I will tell that new distributor to go ahead and send screenshots in that chat so we can answer them. That way, the person that I placed under can hear me answer things, and they can really, really see and like let their confidence grow when they see me helping that new distributor that I placed under them, when they see me helping them seal the deal. And that's going to make them feel more confident. If that distributor approaches them outside of that chat and asks for help, that's going to make them feel more confident on how to answer those things, because they've heard me answer several things already too. So that's a tip if you're building someone brand new, like they don't have a team yet except their spouse. Just really, you know, helping them understand the way you word things is huge, because sometimes people come into business, you guys, and they just simply put, that is what they're the most nervous about, is if they're answering things correctly, if their wording's okay. One other thing I wanted to touch on just kind of before we wrap up and recap about everything, is just making sure that, you know, once your new distributor is doing the things that you have given them to do, that you are always giving them what's next. We never want anyone to stall, so we want to make sure we're giving them what's next, and we're always pointing them in the direction of, you know, growth. And so really getting them started off self-development right out of the gates, you know, pointing them in the direction of, you know, a list of YouTube videos. You can always direct them to my YouTube channel. Jordan and Amanda have videos, like recorded Zooms from Fire Tribe on their YouTube channels as well. And then any videos that have impacted you. If there's a video that when you were new really helped you get started off strong in the business, maybe it's one we haven't mentioned, but it was something that, you know, your enroller gave you to watch and it really helped you break through something. You know, you can definitely give that to them. A favorite book you have. Some books I recommend to all of my new distributors is Rhinoceros Success, Chop Wood, Carry Water, and then Beach Money. Those 3 books are all really short, but they really, really help the new distributor get in the right frame of mind to really treat this like a business and really believe that they can do this too. And I find that it just really kind of helps adjust their attitude from, you know, right out of the gate that they can do this. All of us will tell you, you guys, that if someone does not have a good attitude, they can have all the skills in the world, but if the attitude's not right, there's really not much we can do to help them. And on the contrary, if someone has a phenomenal attitude but has no skills, that's okay. We can teach them the skills. And so my goal right out of the gates is every single distributor I sign, I want them to quickly get in the right frame of mind that is necessary to be successful in the business. And so self-development is huge for that, making sure they're getting on the team Zooms every week like we talked about, and just making sure you're always helping them grow into what's next. Before I recap everything, I wanted Jordan and Amanda to both really quickly hit on reaching out to your warm market and what that looks like. I know both of them maybe have a few different tips, so I'll let them both give their best tips for this with you guys. But sometimes you guys, your new distributor will do their first post and they maybe won't get a lot of interaction on it. And I know Amanda talked a little bit about host to post, but another great thing we recommend is reaching out to your warm market. I just have to say, for the purpose of this video, for fun fact, I reached out to Jordan when I was going, I think, Ruby. 1 month to see if she wanted to be a customer. Jordan and I went to college together, so we knew each other. I sent her a warm market message example. She wasn't able to get started on products right away, but here she is today, a presidential diamond leader on the team, because that opened up a door for her to end up joining the business later. And so we're a huge proponent of reaching out to people you know to see if they would want to support you, because you never know how that's going to turn out. It might be a customer in the beginning, it might be a distributor later. But yeah, if you guys both just want to really quickly give like your best tips on helping your new distributor, empowering them and equipping them to do that.
Yeah, definitely. So sending messages out to your warm market when you first get started is so helpful. So when I did my first post, I didn't have a lot of interaction on there. I didn't have people running to my inbox asking for information on products or anything like that. So my next step was to send out the warm market message. And what we mean by warm market, like Brittany already talked about briefly, is these are people who you know in real life, in person. So maybe people you went to school with, people that you know from church. Maybe it's somebody from elementary school that you knew way back in the day that you have on your social media. Somebody that you've met in person and have had a real life connection with, or at least a conversation with. So I went through and sent this message out and basically just asked people, would they help me by supporting my business? And you guys, this is how I got the majority of my very first customers. They were so excited to be able to help me in my new business. And if you don't have a strong warm market, that's okay. Talk with your enroller and they're gonna help walk you through the next steps of what that's gonna look like for you and how to go past that and really help create a warm market and who to send those messages out to. But this was just super helpful for me. And yeah, I'll pass it over to Amanda.
So exactly what Jordan said, we've got that warm market message that we recommend. And then if that doesn't work, one thing that I like to do and actually like to do in general is I like to look at the goals list and the responses to goals list and have my new distributors look at that at first. First of all, this is orienting them to what we have and what we offer. But second of all, I think that when you look at that, if you look at each product in specific or each goal, someone is immediately going to come to mind who you obviously know in real life and understand their needs enough to know, like, you know, someone like my grandfather would probably really appreciate something like collagen that is supposed to help with, you know, joint pain. So then reaching out to that person who you know well enough to know that detail of their life and just saying, hey, I just started this and I think that this might help your knees. Would you be willing to try it out and help it for, it would help my business? There's a really good chance that they're going to say yes. So just going down through each goal list. Maybe if it's somebody who needs a healthy meal option and you used to work retail, then you're immediately going to think of all the people who you used to work retail with. And if you reach out to them with that specific goal in mind, there's a really great chance that they might be interested in trying that. And for me and my team, I think that has served us very well in getting some customers that are lifelong customers.
Yeah, that's so good. And you guys, if you are solution minded as their leader, you're going to be able to help them always find new ways to do things, always find solutions. So maybe their first post got no interaction. That's okay, because you as their leader know exactly what to do next, what path to take to help them still get those first wins. And so that's the name of the game. And I'm sure you're seeing that theme, as each of us, shared our best tips with you guys, is always be looking ahead at what's next for them, always be willing to help them find, what they're looking for, find that, what they need to do to have that first win. If you can help your new distributor get their first wins pretty quickly, which is those first 6 LCs, you're going to help them see they can do this. And then once they sign their husband and they start putting, those first LCs into their husband, they're going to see again, I can do this. They're going to realize they're halfway to their first promotion already. And so that is your goal as a leader, is always just helping them find a win, always helping them get to the next win after that. And so just a quick recap while we wrap up, we just want to, recap what to do. You're going to tag them in their first post example, or excuse me, you're going to send them their first post. And then you're going to send them the welcome new distributor training that the 3 of us did. It's on my YouTube channel. And then from there, you're going to wait till they complete those things. And then you're going to get them on their second post. You're going to go ahead and give them a couple other videos that are helpful for them to watch. And then you're going to just start really walking alongside them in life with them, making sure that they know about the team Zooms, that they, know about anything they should know about, that you're always just helping, push them in the direction of what's next. And then just at the end of the day, just knowing that if you care about them and you're committed to helping them reach their goals, they're going to do well if they stick with you. None of us are the perfect leader, but what we all know is if we give our best to people, we might make mistakes, but we can always help them find success. And we'll learn along the way, they'll learn along the way. So take that pressure off yourself to be the perfect leader and just do your best. Just show up for them and be present with them, and ultimately just making sure you're leading them by example and showing them what to do, and you're going to do great, you guys. So we're so excited for everything that's coming. We hope this video was helpful for you guys in knowing how to launch your new distributors successfully, and just know you always have our full support. If you are training a new distributor and something arises and it's your first distributor and you're not sure what to do, reach out to your enroller, reach out to your Diamond Above Upline or one of us, and we will always be able to help you, point you in that right direction to get you back on course. So on that note, we love you guys. We hope this is helpful, and we'll talk to you guys soon.